Okay, so we're now recording. Okay, so I don't know, I'm not sure why. What can you see, Rebecca? If I just,
Everybody.
oh, right, okay, that's cool. I was just focusing on Victoria, so that's fine, fantastic. Okay, so welcome everybody to the Balance Your Brilliance Masterclass. For those that don't know me, my name's Marina Beach, a soul alchemist, and I'm here co-hosting this amazing masterclass, this 2-hour event with Rebecca. And yeah, we're just absolutely delighted to have you here. In terms of what I do, I help clients to basically shift their karmic patterns from their kind of present and past lifetimes to help them realign their life and their business. So I work in people's Akashic records, and I also use tarot cards, but I also do that in a person's Akashic record as well. So that's basically kind of what I do. So I'm a soul realignment practitioner. That's my main modality. But as I say, karmic patterns, past lifetimes, learning about who you are at soul level, what your divine gifts are, is kind of my kind of focus. That's how I help people. But I do these kind of collaborations with Rebecca because I like to kind of do a lot of pendulum healing and rebalancing for people as well, on top of that soul realignment stuff. So this is why we've created this masterclass, really, so we can combine our skills to give you a really rounded kind of healing session tonight. So that's just a little bit about me, but I'm going to pass you over to Rebecca and she'll explain what she does.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's so lovely to see some familiar faces as well, because Marina and I have been working together for a couple of years, but we've been working together in this capacity this year, and it's been awesome, hasn't it? We've just gone from strength to strength, working in each other's energies and pushing each other, pushing the boundaries, definitely, because there are certain things that I hated going live on Facebook, and she's really encouraged me to put my face out there this year, so I'm really grateful for that. So what I do is I was going to say primarily nutritional therapy, but that's not really true anymore. I do nutritional therapy, but more than that, I do helping people who perhaps are struggling with their relationship with food and they want to get themselves back in control, but it's never ever about the food. So I work with people depending on what it is that lies beneath their relationship with food. I also do kinesiology, I do life coaching, use EFT, and I also do intuitive art, which is something that's evolved over the last few years and is now taking not quite 50-50, but taking quite a lot of my time. And I love art. Got me through pretty much a very dark time, those of you who know me now, after a car accident when I was very unwell. So if it wasn't for art, I don't know if I would be here to tell the tale. So I like to share my passion with that with lots of other people, and I'm so grateful that I found it. So that takes up, as I said, not quite 50%, but I'm now selling my works and we'll be doing workshops in person as well, hopefully with Michelle Zora in October, and Zora herself, who's on the call today. We met last week, so lots of exciting opportunities are coming, I think, from all the work we've been doing with Marina and myself. So yeah, it's been really good, and these have become popular, these little masterclasses that are now evolving. And I feel so honoured to be able to share what I feel passionate about with so many of you. So that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, and what Rebecca has failed to kind of, I guess, touch on is that she's an amazing channel as well. So she channels all sorts. She's quite big with the galactics, but you are.
Just put me out the bag there.
Yeah,
that's really
you are a bit channeled. So this is why she does the meditation aspect.
Yeah,
we're bringing in, she'll be channeling whatever energy she connects with, and it's
Yeah.
really, really quite powerful. So she kind of, that's her, one of her little specialities, and the really nice part of what we're doing tonight, but also obviously the artwork she's created, which is filled with healing, light codes. I mean, you'll talk about that, I guess, in a little bit, but
I'm a little bit in denial, I think, about that aspect of who I am, and I'm aligning with it more and more as time goes on. You know, the parts of you that, I don't know, were always...
Oh, you've frozen.
Myself, but yeah, it's true. It's all true.
You froze at my end there, so I didn't quite hear that last bit.
I hope the reception is okay.
Yeah, so do I. It's just said to me my internet connection's unstable, but I'm on a landline, so should be pretty good. If anybody's having any trouble hearing me, just let me know, and I'll switch to Wi-Fi if that's the case. Is everybody okay? Can you put thumbs up? Can you hear me okay?
Can anyone help me with the volume? I think that's up to her on her PC or phone, depending on what you're on.
Have you just joined, Regina?
She's not
fine. Okay.
She's not moving.
Yeah, I can't mute you or anything at the moment, so I'm wondering if you're still connecting. It's not giving me an option to do anything with with you, anything. So whether you can turn yourself up, I don't know. There isn't anything from my end that I can do for you.
No. Sure, it might be a log-in, log-out jobby again.
Could be. It happens to you every time. Okay. That's rubbish. Not sure what that is then. But yeah, for some reason I can't mute you either. So whether your connection's not strong enough, I don't know. Strange. Okay, well, I'm going to continue on. So basically the format of this class is I'm going to kind of do the first hour. So I'm going to go through just some information, just a little bit about what the autumn equinox is, and kind of why we're doing this masterclass tonight, and kind of connecting in with these energies. We're also going to be looking, just touching on the Hara line and what that is, because I didn't know an awful lot about the Hara line, but I didn't realise how much, how important it was. It's kind of similar to the chakras, I guess, in terms of having it in balance. We're going to look at the sacral chakra. And also I'm just going to touch on the Libra new moon, because we have a new moon in Libra on Friday, and that's also about balance. So it's all kind of really connected. So I'm going to attempt to share my screen with everybody, and hopefully we'll get back afterwards. So okay. Oh, don't want that there. So I'm hoping everybody can see this okay. Let me know if you can.
That's fine, my side.
That's fine, your side. Okay, okay, great. Okay, so the autumn equinox. So you'd probably be able to read this yourself as well, but autumn comes from the Estruan word auto, which means change of season. So obviously the autumn equinox, a little bit like the summer solstice, the spring equinox and the winter solstice, it's kind of the key times of the year because it's when our seasons are changing. But what that means for us is that we are changing. So this is why, from a spiritual point of view, we tend to tap into this kind of energy, because it's a really key part of our life cycle. So it means change of season. Equinox is Latin for, equinox is derived from a Latin word, which is aquus, which means equal, and nox, which means night. So it represents the equal night and day. So today we've had an equal amount of daytime as well as nighttime. So this is why, obviously, it's called the autumn equinox. The entire journey around the sun represents the cycles of light and dark. So that's obviously our planet going around the sun, as well as death, life, and rebirth. And autumn marks the descent into old age on that life cycle, and eventually into death and rebirth. So the death is kind of going into winter, and then we've got the rebirth of the spring. So, you know, we are going to naturally go more inward as we go into autumn, and we kind of head more into the winter months, and the darkness becomes longer. And that's just a part of our natural life cycle. So it's part of something that we actually should be honouring rather than fighting against. In many ancient cultures, the solstices and the equinoxes were key times spiritually and mark the time when each person can go inward and reflect on what kind of year they've had. So that's just something that we will start to do naturally. But as I say, because of the society that we live in, we are, as you know, in a very, very fast culture, and it's kind of that kind of time where we, you know, should be waiting for things to happen and waiting for the growth. It's kind of not there. We're kind of living in a society where we want it all now, and we don't want to wait for anything. And as you know, Mother Earth doesn't work like that. And, you know, we should be kind of similar. I'm just going to see if anybody's not on mute, can you just mute yourself? I can't actually move my cursor. So I'm not sure if Jessica or Regina need to put yourself on mute. That would be great. So it's really key that we do honour this time where we can actually go in and start to reflect and not, you know, continue to be working at a really fast pace like we have done through the summer and through the springtime. It is a time when we let go of all that needs to die to allow what's left to thrive. So it's not about allowing everything to kind of die off. It's just the things that no longer serve us, things that are no longer alive. And then that does allow whatever's left to really kind of be boosted and, you know, be successful. Mother Nature does this in such a colourful and powerful way. So we see that the leaves turn to gold, and we have these beautiful kind of landscapes through the autumn, which are just amazing. And that's just Mother Nature doing it. We'll have an instinctual desire to layer up, eat comforting food, be cozy and stay warm. The equinox is also an ascension trigger and allows us to tap into the crystalline energies from the spiritual sun and earth at an enhanced and powerful rate. So the crystalline energies are basically all part of the ascension process, and this is what we tap into on an energetic level to help us ascend our conscious, which is kind of what we're all kind of doing on one level or another. But when we have the equinox, the summer solstices, all these kind of special times, the portals or the access to the crystalline energies, the earth crystalline energy, all of that it's much easier to do. It's much easier to connect into. So this is again why we're doing this masterclass, because we want to connect into these amazing energies that are around us. And you know, as we go into kind of Halloween and that type of time of year, this is when the veil, we call it the veil, between, you know, the spirit world, the fifth dimension, and our third dimensional world is very, very thin. So I know that in kind of some some cultures, they use the new year as Halloween. So, you know, and that's because they recognize spiritually our connection with the afterlife is at its best, I guess. So this is a little bit just about the autumn equinox, and as I say, it's a really important time for the ascension energies as well. So this is just a few facts around autumn that I found. So we actually lose more hair in autumn than any other time of the year. And that's because we hold on to all of our hair through the summer to protect our head from the midday sun. So I didn't know that. So if you're finding that you're losing a lot of hair at this time, that is why. The Northern Lights, so this is kind of really in the Northern Hemisphere, you know, Iceland and Norway and that type of place. They're really visible at this time, and there's a lot more geomagnetic storms that can be seen. And this is just an image that you can see there on the on the information. Halloween carving originated in Ireland using turnips and potatoes. I remember kind of using a turnip also to carve out years and years ago, and it was two days. Really, really difficult. However, when the Irish immigrants moved to the US, they discovered pumpkins, and that new ritual of pumpkin carving was born. Until 1500, autumn was called harvest in the UK, so it wasn't called autumn at all. And then the Britons adopted the French word automne in the 18th century. The full moon closest to the autumn equinox is called the harvest moon, and that's if you follow, I guess, the more kind of pagan traditions of the moon, naming the moons. I tend to go more with the astrology and the astrology signs, but I know that the harvest moon is also that full moon closest to the autumn equinox. The red and purple leaves are caused by the presence of sugars in sap trapped in the leaves, so that's why we have this beautiful display by Mother Earth, and that's just because of the sugar in the leaves. And heart attacks decrease after the autumn equinox because we get an extra hour of sleep. So it's said that we're less stressed because we have that extra hour on that one night. So the heart attacks decrease. So that's just a few little facts there. So why do we need balance? So it's been proven that the autumn equinox has a psychological effect. For some of us, knowing that we're heading into months of short days and long nights. So symptoms such as SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder, can develop, and it's also known as winter depression, and can affect our mood, irritable. It can make us more irritable. It kind of heightens our low self-esteem. We can feel more stressed, anxious, tearful, and our sex drive can be really low. That's also can be kind of said of some of the ascension symptoms. So,
Yes.
It can be, sometimes we think we're affected by the ascension symptoms, but actually it could also be the winter depression. Recognizing what affects you and knowing what you can do to manage the effects is a way to embrace this more inward and darker part of the earth cycle. So it's not something that we're wanting to really escape. We want to embrace it and then do what we can to work with Mother Nature. And as I say, it's not just kind of just doing these things that we're suggesting. It's also making sure that, I guess, that we are spending less time doing and doing a little bit more time reflecting and doing that kind of inward journey rather than outward. So natural sunlight is a good way to kind of, and these are not exhaustive, these are just things that I've put in. Vitamin D, and this has been suggested by one of the ladies that signed up, because I said that I am affected by SAD. I feel that I am. I kind of don't let it stop me from doing what I need to do, but I don't enjoy winter because there's just not enough sunlight. So she has suggested to me just, taking more vitamin D helps her. Exercise, which I know that I am an exerciser anyway. Balanced diet, not so much for me. It could be better.
Okay.
Self-care, lots of self-care. This is really, really big thing. Light therapy is also something that people do use, and meditation. Now, if you look at medical websites, they do seem to prescribe an awful lot of antidepressants for SAD, which I would perhaps use as a last resort. But I think if you're doing quite a bit of self-care and meditation and exercise and getting out in nature, I'm sure that you probably wouldn't need those antidepressants as well. Honouring this time to slow down in our lives and business is also key. So taking the time to review what has worked, what hasn't allowed us, what hasn't, and allow that to be released and allow the newness for the next year. So that's really key. This is what nature's doing naturally, getting rid of, the leaves, everything's done. It's falling back onto the earth, and then it's all regenerating for spring next year. Taking time to balance our energetic points, such as the chakras, the hara line, and the meridians also help, which is why we're doing this session tonight, because we want to kickstart the autumn for you guys in, bringing in some balance and allowing that creative flow and that energy to continue through. the winter. Okay, so what is the Hara line? As I say, I didn't know much about the Hara line until I started to read up on it. So the Hara line is a line that sits vertically within our physical body, and it's about 1/3 of an inch wide, and it starts about 1.5 foot above our crown chakra. So it's kind of connected to our soul chakra, soul star chakra, which is one of the chakras that sits outside of the physical body. And it extends into the core of the earth, so it kind of goes down to the earth star chakra, which is sitting beneath our feet. So we have chakras in our feet as well, but this is one that sits in the earth. It serves as our aura's foundation and is the powerhouse of our intentions, so birthing and holding our intentions. So when we set intentions, you know, like I do with the moon, I didn't realise that these intentions are actually being held in our Hara line, and this is what gives us the willpower and the motivation and the drive and determination to take action to make these intentions and these goals come true or into being. So it's where the source of our life purpose is located and our source of creativity. So there are 3 points. There's above the head. There's the upper chest, which is kind of around the heart chakra. Then there's the lower belly, which is kind of near the sacral chakra. The head is considered the separation point of our soul being incarnated. So when we've separated from divine source, or this one consciousness, which is what we keep talking about with the ascension process. So this is our first point of separation from that one consciousness, and you know, we're getting near our own physical body, and we are separate. We're a separate being. So this is considered the separation point of our soul being incarnated, the spark of our journey, and also referred to as the Godhead. So you will hear that every now and again when I've been doing meditations. People have mentioned, you know, making sure that the Godhead is, you know, balanced and aligned. And I didn't actually know where that was, but this is where it is. The upper chest, so it's specific to our emotional body, which kind of makes sense because it's the heart chakra, and it's the source of our passions, longings, and life purpose, also known as the soul seat. And then the lower belly, so it's about 2.5 inches below our navel. It's our power and our will center. And this is where we draw the will to live from. When we need the motivation and that drive to carry out our goals, is the energy here that we tap into. And this is also called Tan Tien. I think I've said that right, Tan Tien. So that is what the Hara line is, and it's a vertical line. And when it's out of alignment, then you can see that it can be a bit wonky, it can be split, and, you know, not in alignment with, you know, the earth or the soul star chakra. So in balance, the line looks straight, it's centered and well rooted, and you'll feel in sync with integrity, power, and purpose. So everything feels in flow, basically. That's when when we know that our Hara line is in balance. When it's out of balance, it can show itself in the following ways. Inner conflicts. You know, we all have inner conflicts where our ego, our mind is telling us one thing, and, you know, our spirit or heart is telling us something else. We don't feel grounded, we feel insecure, unable to move forward, lack of direction or drive, lack of confidence, loss of self-love, feeling vulnerable, feeling lost and alone, feeling under psychic attack, and I think I've spelt that wrong. Don't know what I've spelled there, but feeling under psychic attack. Some people can feel that. Anxiety or panic attacks, feeling you can't cope, difficulty in receiving. Quite a lot of us will have difficulty in receiving on one form or another because it's connected to self-worth. Loss of healing abilities, continually picking up other people's energies. So that's a really big thing for people who are empathic, which Rebecca will testify because she's probably one of the most empathic people I know. You could just look at her and she could feel it. Whereas I've got more of a rhino skin, so I don't tend to feel it as much. But you know, that's a key thing to kind of watch. If you feel that you're picking up other people's energies and, you know, you're not what I'd say practicing good spiritual hygiene, which is something that we really need to get into. Then, and this will be something else just to probably add to the spiritual hygiene thing, is to make sure that your hara line is in balance. So hara line healing helps with releasing repressed negative energies, and when brought back into alignment, aids with living your purpose and enjoying your creative experience, which at the end of the day, this is what we are. We are a soul, we are spirit, having a human experience in a physical body. So we want to make the best of what we can and enjoy the life that we have, the relationships, you know, and all of that. So the more that we can do to help ourselves align energetically, the more, you know, good effect that's going to have on the actual physical body as well. So a little bit about the sacral chakra. Now, quite a lot of you probably know about the sacral chakra, but, you know, I'm just going to touch on it anyway. So it's located below our navel, so kind of similar to with the hara line. So it's very much linked. It's associated with pleasure, sexuality, nurturing, change, and creativity. Again, that's not extensive, but that's kind of the crux of it. It's associated with the element of water, so it influences flow in our body. So in terms of organs, we've got kidneys, bladder, and the circulatory system. So, you know, when we want to be in flow, when we want to feel abundant and creative, and, you know, where we're not having to really work hard and things, opportunity, just doors open for us, this is when we are in flow and our sacral chakra is in balance. Balancing the chakra to help will help us appreciate our pleasures, be able to accept change, and create the life that we want to live. In balance, it means that we're emotionally balanced, we trust, we're passionate, we're sexually open, we're expressive, we're creative, sociable, friendly, and we enjoy pleasure. So this is kind of just, again, just some ideas on that. When we're out of balance, and what I've got here is I've got two aspects for each, and one is representative for when it's under balance and one is when it's over. So we can be insensitive or oversensitive, manipulative or guilt complex. So, you know, we feel a lot of guilt, or we're guilting other people into doing things for us. We could be a sexual predator. I'm not in that camp. Or impotent. We could be opinionated or self-critical. We could be a fantasist or inexpressive, attention-seeking or an isolationist, a hedonist or pessimist. We could be domineering, or we could be a martyr. So that's kind of giving you an idea of when it's under or over. So again, you can see when we're out of balance with the sacral chakra, it does have quite a big effect. And what I've found when I work with my clients is that your health, your relationships, and your finances are all linked, and they all link to the sacral chakra. So when one is kind of not working for you, you tend to find there's issues in all those three life areas. So once we start to address one of those life areas, then you find that the other two also improve. So we're talking now about the Libra new moon. So again, this is just another energy around at this time that's going to help with this balancing. So Libra comes from the Greek goddess Themis, whose name translates to divine law. And you can see in the picture that usually we find that Libra is kind of represented by a set of scales. And this Saturday is when the next new moon is due. You might have a strong need for balance and harmony now in all areas of your life. So this is the energy that will be coming in with this new moon, in particular in your relationship. So Venus is in Libra at this time, so relationships are going to be quite big in terms of this particular new moon. So you might find that you're able to more easily compromise this month, looking for a balanced approach to the challenges, but also not kind of not giving in to people, but you know, you're more willing to compromise. You may have a desire to keep things nice, so this could be a dysfunctional aspect of this moon, and gloss over situations rather than venturing into fundamental questions in order to keep the pace. So it might be that, you know, you don't want to have those challenging those challenging conversations, and you'd rather just accept. So that's not compromise, that's kind of accepting, but not for your highest good. So just be mindful of that. The shadow also of this moon is dependency, inconsistency, and being superficial. So ensure that you're being true to yourself and authentic with others. If you feel tired with this new moon, then listen to your body and rest. This moon is part of this cycle and is the same as the winter. So when we have a new moon, it correlates with the winter months. So when we have a full moon, it's all, very much aligned with summer, the height of summer, the summer, equinox. So it's very busy. We're very much out there as, socializing, promoting things in our business. That's what we do with a full moon. When we go to a new moon, it's all about going inwards, it's about reflection, and then it's looking to see what new seeds, what can we let go of, and then look at what new seeds we can plant that are going to help bring our intentions back up to that fullness of the full moon. This moon energy allows us to enhance balance between mind, body and soul, heart and sacral chakra. So that's what this is what will come with this new moon. So that is just a little bit of information about, the importance of balance, and which is, why we are doing this masterclass. So for my part, I'm just going to stop sharing. Yay, and we're back. I'm going to be looking at rebalancing the hara line. And I'm also going to be looking at clearing the sacral chakra. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to do a grounding. I'm going to call in some angels to cleanse our auric field. So you can have a tip, a top to toe cleanse tonight. And then I'm going to hand you over then to Rebecca in a little while to take us into the earth.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just
come back out again. It's okay. Can I also add about?
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah, you add, Rebecca. Add in some stuff, please.
No. It's just about the portals and obviously the ascension process, because being a highly sensitive, empathic person, even if I'm kind of turn off social media, which I do quite often, and don't tune in and just pretend to not know when there's a new moon or a full moon or anything happening, I feel it, like I know then there's something going on. So these masterclasses, I think, are one way I wish I had years ago when I was awakening at a very rapid speed, because it's something that you can tap into and ground and feel supported. I think you'd agree, Marina, with that one. Because it's intense for some of us, it's intenser. So this one particularly, I don't know what other people have obviously been experiencing, but those things that you think that you had dealt with seem to be coming smack back right up in your face, and it's like, whoa, hang on, I thought that was dealt with and parked weeks, months, maybe even years ago. And this autumn equinox, coupled with the energies and the moon, has been bringing up a lot of things around relationships for me personally. I know of a few others. I don't know if you have been feeling that as well. So I hope that this evening, if there's a specific focal point before Marina goes on and does her pendulum healing, and then we go on and do the meditation, just hold these intentions in mind and just allow them to kind of flow through you, and trust the process, as hard as it can be at times. Allow the energy to go through you rather than staying within you, because already I can feel it rising up. So I just want people to just kind of let go as much as they can, imagine themselves leaf-like and to gently allow things to pass through. And I'm not sure if we said about having a notepad, and paper. So if there's any thoughts that come to your mind, then we can address them at the end of the session. But yeah, if you are feeling a little bit tinnitusy or headachy or maybe nausea, we spoke about this last time as well, these are all very common ascension symptoms. They're also symptoms of SAD. They're also symptoms in their own right. So yeah, just try and do what you can to allow the process to flow through and let it go as much as you can. So yeah, that's it really. It's more about the ascension than anything else that I wanted to just quickly address.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, definitely. I was just looking at the chat box, and Sinead is saying that they get the Northern Lights in Donegal. Amazing. Right. That would be great. And Jessica said she's found herself going for long walks in nature several times a week or short ones every day, taking vitamin D completely got rid of her SAD.
Yeah, it does.
Somebody else, so that's amazing. Yeah. Okay.
I take it, and if you take the one that's within the oil, it's easily accessed by the body. So
okay.
Rather than the capsule.
Yeah.
So I recommend the drop if you are going to go for one.
Okay, great. Okay, so what I'm going to do now then is I'm going to just get everybody to relax, and I want you to plant your feet firmly on the floor so you can feel the ground, and then you can keep your eyes open or you can have them closed. I'll probably close my eyes intermittently. So what I'm going to do first of all is we're going to just ground, and then I'm going to call in angels to help with this clearing. So if you can imagine, just from your heart center, I want you to imagine a orange, because we're going with the sacral chakra, and we're in the autumn equinox. So an orange kind of line, like a plumb line, if you can imagine that. That's just dropping from your heart chakra, from your heart center, and it's just dropping. And it's dropping through your bum, and it's then dropping down your legs through the bottom of your feet, and it's heading towards the center of the earth. So it's going through your soul star, earth star chakra, and it's heading towards the middle of the earth, all through the rocks and the shale, the soil. And just imagine this, it's going deeper and deeper and deeper. This orange line, plumb line, light, however you want to imagine it, it's just heading towards the middle of the earth. It's heading towards, it's going through lava, and it's dropping deeper and deeper and deeper. It's going through a little bit more darkness, a bit more rocks. And it's heading towards a crystal in the middle of the earth. And if you could just imagine that orange line just wrapping around the crystal in the earth. Now this crystal can be any color that you wish. So just get that color in your mind, and then draw that color up, this orange line, and see that that color, that line is now changing color to whatever crystal color you imagined that orange line to be around. So just draw that color up, and this is the color that you need at this time. Just bring that color back up through the rock, through the soil, through the lava, through the sand. Just keep bringing it up this color. Keep bringing it up, and it's working its way up through the earth. And then it's coming up to your earth star chakra, and it's coming through the bottom of your feet, and then it's working its way up your legs, up to the bottom of your bum, up to your stomach, and then working its way up to your heart, and it's just going to stop there at your heart. So you've brought that colour all the way back up. We've got our feet firmly planted, and we have this orange line wrapped around the crystal in the earth. So we're very much grounded here. We're then going to imagine above our heads a white light. So it's a very, very bright, white, intense light. It's almost kind of coming from the ceiling, almost. It's like a pillar of white that's just pointing down towards your crown chakra. And your crown chakra is now just going to open. So this is a point at the top of your head. And it's just allowing that white light just to now enter your crown chakra. Just imagine that white light now coming to the point to your third eye or your brow chakra, so the point between your eyebrows. It's now just working its way to the back of the bottom of your head at the back, or the top of your neck, so it's like the nape part, and that's your causal chakra. And we're just going to ensure that that's open and cleansed. So we're just going to do a little bit of work there. So you just imagine that you've got a cloth, and you are just, and it's a crystal, clear crystal, that we're just going to polish at that point in your causal chakra. This is kind of opens up to our spiritual connection, to whoever we wish to connect to. It just having this particular chakra cleansed and cleared helps that connection. So we're just going to polish that crystal up there, and then we'll imagine this white light just to continue down to our throat chakra, and it's just cleansing and clearing that throat chakra there. I can feel a little bit of gunk, which is usually around the throat chakra. So we're just clearing and allowing that light to just clear any debris that's around the throat that's stopping our self-expression, allowing, stopping us from speaking, saying what we want to truly say. And then the white light is now just dropping back into the heart. So we've got 2 points. You've got that light, that colour that you've brought up from Mother Earth, and you've now got this white light, and they're just intermingling with your heart. So that's just us just kind of connecting, we're grounding, and we've just kind of done a little bit of light work through the chakras there. So I'm now going to call in the angels. So I'm just going to call in Archangel Raphael, who's going to be in the east. We're going to call in Archangel Michael, who represents the south. Archangel Gabriel, that represents the east. And we're going to call in Archangel Uriel, that represents the north. And they're just going to stand around you at this time. They're placing you in a golden sphere of bright white light. And we're going to just ask for Archangel Metatron to be above you, and Archangel Sandalphon below you. So you have 6 angels around you. All the points around you are all covered with these powerful angels. And I'm just going to request that Archangel Metatron bring down the crystalline grid from the spiritual sun. And this allows us to connect with the ascension energies. So all this work that we're doing is obviously helping with our ascension process, our balance in here. But we do this connected to these crystalline grids. So we have one that comes from the spiritual sun that Archangel Metatron is just now bringing down. If you just imagine he's carrying this grid, he's bringing it down, and he's going to now place it in your heart. So we're surrounded by this crystalline grid, which is kind of on a horizontal plane, and we're sat vertically through it. And the same for Archangel Sandalphon. He's going to bring up the fairy white crystalline grid from Mother Earth. So if you can imagine that he's just bringing this up, and it's a grid that's coming up through your feet, it's coming up through your legs, it's coming up through your body, and that also sits horizontally here in your heart. So we're now connected to the crystalline grids also. So we're very much connected with Earth, we're connected with the spiritual sun. We have these amazing angels around us. So I'm now just going to ask the angels. I'm going to use my pendulum now as well, just to amplify the intention. So Archangel Metatron, can you please just cleanse our auric field? And I'm using my pendulum just to also amplify this intention. This is our 8-body system, our auric field, just cleanse and clear all non-beneficial energy, any attachments, any agreements anything being held in our 8-body system or auric field that no longer serves us, just allow that to be released, please, all that energy. Any thoughts, any emotions, anything that we've picked up through the day from other people, we're just now releasing, and we are going to transform that energy back to Mother Earth to be used for good elsewhere. So we're just cleansing and clearing our auric field. And I want to extend that cleansing and clearing now to our environment. So the room that we're now sat in, I just want to clear this completely of anything that's not for our highest good, that doesn't serve us. Just cleanse and clear our environment now, please. And I'm just going to wait for the pendulum to stop on that, just to make sure that we have a pure space for this healing. Okay. So Archangel Metatron, I just want to ask you to seal off the windows and doors of the room that we're in with golden creator substance, just creating a clear and pure space for everybody that's watching the live and the replay, so they can receive this healing tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and so it is. So I'm just allowing the pendulum to spin while that happens. Okay. So we've got clear space now to work from. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the hara line. And what I've been guided to look at is to shift, eliminate and release some aspects that are affecting us in terms of our hara line. So unblocking the hara line, the benefits is that it allows us to tap into happiness and fulfillment. It allows us to connect to our life purpose, co-create more effectively to attract abundance. Who doesn't want some of that? It allows us to reconnect with the crystalline grids, which obviously we've just done that anyway, and the Christ consciousness and Mother Earth. And it also helps us to release karmic issues, which we will then be going on to with the sacral chakra. But that will be an ongoing thing. So once we've done this, obviously it's not a permanent healing, but it is going to help certainly to kind of kickstart anything that we want to change in our life, and it will allow some of this karmic stuff to be released. So everything that I'm going to be doing tonight is going to be for everybody's highest good, health, mental, emotional and spiritual well-being. I'm requesting that your guides and your higher self now connect, and that they accept the healing on your behalf to the level that is the most appropriate for you, for what is aligned for you at this time, what you can handle, basically. So your higher self and your spirit guides will manage that process. So I want to connect with everybody's hara line, please. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some releasing and shifting and eliminating. So I would like to request that this is done on all conscious levels throughout the 8-body system, wherever it's affected by an imbalance with the hara line. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect to root causes. And we're going to connect to root causes that may be situated in other lifetimes, other timelines, other universes, other dimensions. Also on the maternal and paternal line. So anything that's been held in the genetic or within our DNA. So I just want to connect to all aspects of everybody watching the live and replay, anything that we can connect to and to clear. We're going to try and do that to rebalance this horror. So we want to connect to root causes, please, of loss of inner sense of security. So where we feel insecure, we want to connect to any root causes there that are causing imbalance to the horror line. Connect to root causes and please clear to zero. Release these root causes. Everything that we do tonight, also, we're going to leave all spiritual learnings and knowledge intact in the Akashic records, but we are recognizing that all soul lessons are now complete. So connect to the root causes of all inner senses of insecurity and release. We want to connect to the root causes of all loss of self-nurturing and self-love. And we want to shift those causes, those blocks, those restrictions, those imbalances from the horror line now. We want to connect the root causes of any loss of identity with self and life on earth. And we want to eliminate these from causing any imbalances in the horror line. So connect to root causes of loss of identity with self and life on earth. Connect to root causes of all aspects of where we feel stuck and unable to move forward. So whatever is creating these blocks and restrictions for the horror line, creating stuckness, we want to clear to zero and we want to release those. This one's quite deep, it's still going. Okay, so we want to also connect to the root causes of all situations of where we lack direction, inspiration and drive. And we want to shift those from the horror line also. Connect to all root causes of frustration at lack of achievement and success. And clear those from the horror line. Connect to the root cause and eliminate all blocks and restrictions that are creating issues in us manifesting at this time. So our inability to manifest, release all beliefs around our inability to manifest, release this energy from the horror line. Connect to the root cause of all blocks and restrictions that are creating a loss of healing abilities or the belief or perception that there's a loss of healing abilities, and transmute that from the horror line. and connect to the root cause of all aspects of picking up other people's negative energy or issues, and eliminate those from the Harmony line. So any other people's negative energy, just eliminate now from the Harmony line. So we're now just going to replace, allow and elevate the following vibrations onto the Hara line. So that before I do that, I just want to do a little bit more. Clear blocks, rips, holes and straighten, strengthen and align the Hara line to its correct and right position within all of our bodies. Allow energy to now flow where it's supposed to go. We are now connected to divine help, assistance and power. Our Hara lines are now aligned. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. And we're now going to put these positive energies back onto or within the Hara line. So this is what I'm going to rebalance the Hara line with. So feeling energized. So please imprint, install this now back onto the Hara line or within the Hara line. Allow the Hara line to feel these vibrational energies that I'm intending, that I'm requesting. So energy, feeling energized. Strengthening boundaries, so energetic boundaries. Just allow the Hara line to be strengthened and allow the boundaries, especially with other people's energy, to be strengthened. Allow progression. So progression for all of us in our lives. So bringing the Hara line back into balance, we want to allow progression. We want to elevate our focus at this time. And raise our ability to be empowered with others, with ourselves, to the highest level possible. So bring that also within the Hara line. Allow us to connect to our empowerment energies going forward. So I just want you to imagine now that your Hara line is really straight, as it was shown in that picture, and that it's very much rooted into your kind of chakra points, into the earth. And we're just going to spin also onto the hara line in our timeline now, that we are in flow, that we can easily and effortlessly manifest. That we are aligning with positive experiences now. That we're more easily and able to explore our inner creative power. That our intuition is open to new energy streams and downloads. That we have more energy and vitality. Okay. So that is the hara line clearing. And then if anybody's got any questions, if you want to just put them into the chat box, let me know. If not, I'll move on to sacral. And I think what I might do with this is just perhaps get you to do a little bit of visualization as well. Okay, so with the sacral chakra, definitely feeling that. Oh right, no, that's an old comment. Okay, cool. So no comments. Okay, so I was very much guided with the sacral chakra to look at sexual trauma, because when you think about the sacral chakra, where it's a point of where we're joyful, we're sociable, we create. This is and our human experience is all about creating, whether we're creating babies, whether we're kind of co-creating with other people, creating money, physically creating. We are manifesting and creating constantly, because it's just what we do. Any choice that we make, we create a consequence, and that is us creating. Whether it's something that we want or not is a different matter, but we are constantly manifesting and creating, because it's just what humans do. However, if we've had quite a lot of trauma, in particular around that chakra point, it kind of stands to reason that that is going to affect how we manifest and what we create in our experience at this point. So it kind of made sense to me that looking at past life trauma, in particular around our sexual relationships, whether they were wanted or not, not wanted, forced upon us, it kind of made sense that that chakra point is going to be holding negative energy, things that could be released, which hopefully will help us create a more kind of inflow and more joyful experience. So it kind of stood to reason that I focused on that. So that's how I kind of got to that point. So some of the words that have come up that I'm going to be looking at to clear around sexual trauma is disappointment, overwhelm, revenge, insecurity, guilt, unworthiness, and shame. So a lot of those emotions you would associate with trauma, I'd imagine, in relationships anyway. And we're going to replace it then with some positive energies to help boost that chakra. And I'm also going to call in the energies of a couple of crystals to help boost the sacral chakra as well. So, and I'll explain what those crystals are when we get to that. So again, like last time, I'm going to allow your higher selves and guides to manage what you can manage in terms of what you can receive in terms of healing. And this is going to be, again, we're going to cover off all timelines, all lifetimes. We're going to cover off the maternal and paternal line, all universes, all dimensions, all conscious levels. And when I say all conscious levels, what I'm talking about is the conscious, us consciously, our subconscious and our unconscious. So anything known and unknown. We're going to cover that as well. Okay, so this healing is all for the sacral chakra, please. And we want to just release, we want to connect to root causes again, to release anything that's been held in our 8-body system, in our energy fields, auric field. And we're going to release, we're going to keep all spiritual learnings and knowledge again intact in the Akashic records, so everything can be, you know, re-looked at. But again, we're going to just let go of the trauma, the blocks and restrictions connected with any trauma that has been experienced and is now affecting the sacral chakra, our ability to create, manifest, live in joy, live in flow, live in contentment, live passionately and creatively. We just want to connect to all of the root blocks and clear to zero. So I'm going to just do the general clearing first, and then I'm going to deal with the DNA and genetic stuff after. So anything that has been received in any lifetime, any timeline, universe or dimension, where we have experienced sexual trauma of any kind, whether we've been the victim or the perpetrator, we want to just now clear to zero. And this is for our highest good, health, mental, emotional, spiritual well-being. We want to clear to zero the effects of any sexual trauma that is being held within our 8-body system, within our sacral chakra. In particular, anything that is creating disappointment, anything that's creating overwhelm, anything that's creating the vibration or emotion, feelings of revenge, anything that is linked with being insecure, feeling guilt, feeling unworthy, and feeling shame. So if you could just imagine an orange ball in kind of below your stomach where your sacral chakra would be, and just imagine that orange ball, and it's getting healthier. So it's kind of started off as maybe perhaps like a shriveled peach kind of pip seed thing. Just imagine it now kind of starting to look healthier and taking on a more positive orange kind of hue and colour, and that is becoming plumper, and it's growing. And it's growing because we're clearing this sexual trauma, these negative words, energies from the sacral chakra. And just imagine that ball growing, and it's looking healthier, and perhaps the skin of the ball is really soft. It could be fuzzy, it could be silky smooth, but it's just looking really healthy, you know, warm, nurtured, nourished, loved. And we're just allowing the negative energies to just be released. And we're just going to allow those energies to be transformed from our timelines, from all lifetimes, all universes, all dimensions. And we're going to transform that negative energy back to Mother Earth to be used for good elsewhere. But we're just allowing this healing of the sacral chakra, of this orange ball, to happen. Okay, and we're now going to request, so if you could still, in your mind's eye, see this orange ball, and from this orange ball, just imagine two lights or lines, orange lines coming from that orange ball, and they are just going forward. You know, just imagine them moving forward, and one is representing your maternal line and one is going down the paternal line. And we're sending this orange healing down both of those lines back to the beginning of time. And this represents your ancestors' lines that have also experienced sexual trauma, again, whether they've been victims or perpetrators. We're sending that healing now to our ancestors to allow them to experience this release. And with this orange healing line, within this orange healing line is love, divine love, healing, orange energy. And we're just sending that with love down those lines to allow that healing to occur for them as well. And we send forgiveness down both of those lines as well to our ancestors. Okay. So that healing has now occurred, and we're now just going to replace, install back onto our timeline now in this lifetime some more positive energies, but I also want to use some crystal energy as well. So I've just got a little book here. So we're going to use tangerine quartz. So I'm just calling forth the consciousness of tangerine quartz, please. And this is connected with the sacral chakra, and it's a crystal that promotes creativity, emotional balance, sensuality. It reminds us to keep a healthy balance between the giving and receiving aspects of our relationships with friends, family, and our partner. So we're calling in on tangerine, please, quartz. I'm also going to call on orange calcite, which is an energizing stone that helps to give positive energy moving throughout our body, especially in areas of creativity and sexuality. It allows us to, it's a wonderful stone to carry whenever we're embarking on a new journey or endeavour. So we're just calling on the consciousness, please, of orange calcite. And I also want to call on the energy, the crystalline energy, please, of citrine. So this is a gemstone of light, happiness, abundance, and manifestation. And it is one of the few crystals that does not hold negative energy. So with these three crystals, please, I just now want to install back onto all of our timelines and to install into our sacral chakra, this healed, balanced sacral chakra now, please. The energies of optimism, the vibrational energy of love, the vibrational energy of self-appreciation, the vibration of passion and creativity, the vibrational energy of enthusiasm and contentment, and lastly, positive expectation and belief. So please allow all of those energies now to be installed back onto our timelines, to be implanted into our sacral chakras, And using those energies of those crystals also to enhance, optimize these energies now. And this is all for our highest good health, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Okay. So that is done.
Deep.
So all I would say is that for people that have not experienced pendulum healing, there will be shifts. There's likely to be shifts afterwards. This might take a few days. So just go with whatever emotions come up. If you do feel emotion, if you feel angry, if you feel annoyed, irritated, it's all normal. Just go with it. Allow the emotions to kind of, like Rebecca was saying, flow through you. Don't suppress them. Drink lots of water. Some of you might not feel anything at all, and that's absolutely fine. It's, you know, it affects people in different ways, but, you know, just make sure that you are drinking lots of water regardless. So yeah, so that's the pendulum healing done. So we are back in balance. And obviously you can go back and listen to that whenever you feel like you need a boost through the autumn or the winter. Just go back and listen to that, receive that pendulum healing over and over again, because it'll just keep working. So okay, over to you, Rebecca.
Thank you. That was brilliant, actually. And the other thing I will add is, if you get any kind of like period type pain after, if you are empathic, that might be a bit gripey. I could sort of feel that kind of just that niggling in the gynae area. It probably is nothing to worry about. Just as Marina said, drink lots of water and ride it through, because the sexual healing is, for many of us women, I think, I confess to perhaps having sex when I don't want to. I have experienced not major but sexual trauma as a child, and I had repressed it until I was mid-30s. So, you know, we when we dig deep, sometimes things go, oh, hello, didn't even know I went through that. So just bear that in mind, that you might feel a bit PMT-ish, but hopefully not. So how is everybody feeling before I continue with my bit? Is everybody okay?
And what I would say, if anybody does feel that any kind of like memories or anything comes up, obviously reach out to both me or Rebecca if you need support. Or what I found is writing stuff down and burning it has kind of helps, but it obviously depends on what is being unlocked, whether you would need professional support or whatever. So
whether it depends if it comes as a surprise or something that you knew. So we are now going to go and meet something a bit lighter. Meet our earth elemental, or an earth elemental, which is nice, and hopefully you'll feel very light and freer now that Marina's helped release quite a lot of burden, whether you knew about it or not. So you can sit, you can lay for this. You don't necessarily need your feet on the ground. So if you want to get comfortable, and I will put on some plinky plonk. So can you hear that volume? Is it too loud? Not loud enough? Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Is my voice okay over it? I can't tell because it seems loud for me, but
no, it seems fine.
Yeah, okay. Right, so let's begin. If you want to put your camera on, I will tune in, and if I see something or feel something, then I will obviously pass on the message. So that's up to you. Okay. So let's begin. So welcome to this autumn equinox meditation for balancing the mind, body and soul. I am going to take you on a journey with you either lying or sitting comfortably. Take a few moments to close your eyes and relax. As you listen to me, you begin to feel calm and at peace. I would like you to take 3 deep breaths and release with me. Breathe in, hold, 1, 2, 3, and release. Breathe in, hold, 1, 2, 3, and release. Breathe in, hold, 1, 2, 3, and release. Imagine yourself in a woods on an autumn day. You are comfortably dressed and warm whilst feeling a refreshing breeze on your face. Take a minute to breathe in that fresh, rejuvenating air. You start to walk along a clear pathway with trees either side leading you into the woods. Ahead of you, you see a stunning oak tree. All of the leaves have changed from green to a burnt orange, and they are ready to fall free at any moment. You feel called to walk up to the tree and sit with your back right up against the oak tree. And for this moment in time, you become one with the tree. Imagine that there is a bright white light radiating around your heart chakra. Breathe in and out slowly, connecting with that light. As you breathe, it grows and surrounds your heart chakra, and it radiates outwards, connecting the heart energy into the tree. I'm going to leave you for one moment to continue to generate the energy from your heart into the tree as you become one. Now sense this light traveling down to your sacral, cleansing and balancing this chakra as it passes. Take the light down to the solar plexus, cleansing and balancing it as it passes. Then take it down to the root chakra, cleansing and balancing as it passes. Then follow the light down, down, down into the earth, into your earth star chakra. Sense the light cleansing and balancing this chakra. It then will travel down further through the crust layer of the earth. It goes down, down through the mantle layer. Further down, down through the outer core, and deeper still, going down, down through the inner layer, where right in the center you can connect to the iron ball, the core of the earth. Repeat in your mind after me the following grounding affirmations. I am rooted and grounded. I remain rooted and grounded. I am rooted and I am flexible. I remain focused in the here and the now. I connect to my highest self with ease whilst remaining rooted. My mind, body, and soul adapts easily with the changing of the seasons. When I nourish my mind, body, and soul, I nourish the entire universe. Take a deep breath and release. Stay connected to that iron ball. Your energy is now grounded, you are protected, and you are secure. Bring your thoughts back to where you are sat, up against the tree. Feel that strong connection of the energy still radiating from your heart, connecting you to the tree. You are still one. You sense an energy wanting to make contact with you. It is a friendly energy, lively in nature, and it wants to work with you now. Be open and receptive to who or what this energy may be. If you are willing, state it in your mind that you give permission for an earth elemental to now present itself and come closer and closer and reveal itself to you. It may be a fairy, a pixie, an elf, a gnome, a crystal being, a stone being, a brownie, or maybe another energy completely. Just be open to what appears or to what you sense. I'm just going to leave you for a few minutes so you can connect with your earth elemental. Your earth elemental would like to help you now to balance your brilliance and create harmony in your life. They explain to you that on one of the leaves, the word health is embedded. They ask you to explain to them what you would like to release regarding your health. What are you grateful for about your health? Explain to your earth elemental how you would like your health to be. Your earth elemental now says that on another of the leaves, the word finances is embedded. They ask you to explain to them what you would like to release regarding your finances and what you are grateful for about your finances. Explain to your earth elemental how you would like your finances to be. Your earth elemental states that there is just one more leaf with the word relationships embedded. They ask you to explain to them what you would like to release regarding your relationships and what you are grateful for when it comes to relationships. Explain to your earth elemental how you would like your relationships to be. You now have those 3 leaves. You have your health, you have your finances, and you have your relationships. And embedded within those leaves are things that you want to let go of. Your earth elemental would like you to support you, to set those leaves free from the tree. Allow your intentions to be handed over to the universe. When you are ready, give permission to your earth elemental to release the leaves from the tree. See them falling slowly and gently to the ground. Once they reach the ground, trust that you now have balanced your health, your finances, and your relationships to be harmonious, joyful, and fulfilling. Ask if they have a message for you. Listen and sense and allow that message to come through. Thank your Earth Elemental for all of the support that you have received this evening. You can allow them to leave, or maybe you prefer them to stay as we move on to the second part of the meditation of the sacral chakra healing. If you are letting them go, give your thanks and say bye-bye. If they are staying, allow them to sit, be, wherever you prefer. The colour orange is related to this chakra and is the colour of joy and happiness. When this chakra is balanced and stimulated with no blocks, we experience the world as fun and find it easy to find pleasure from our environment. When blocked, we may feel that the world is void of higher vibration frequencies and we don't experience fun or playfulness. We may feel as if our lives are boxed and we are trapped. An underactive chakra may cause anxiety or repressed feelings. So bring your attention to your abdomen and go back to that orange light. Imagine the whole area is engulfed with orange. It's a deep shade of autumnal shades of orange. You may sense it moving in a circular motion, or it may be still. Feel into the orange light and notice how it feels to you. Is it too fast? Is it too slow? Do you have any loose particles? Is it smooth? Is it rough? Is it too big? Too small? Just spend a little time creating an orange colored energy that flows in a comfortable speed in a clockwise direction. Really concentrate on the speed and make the orange larger. Make the orange light larger. As you breathe in and out, the orange light grows larger and it goes meters outside of your body in every direction. You are projecting a powerful, clear orange light. Breathe it in and breathe it out. As you continue to breathe in and out, the orange light releases all blocks and they are returned to source. Repeat in your mind after me. I am confident. I know what I offer to the world is enough. It is safe to express my sexual self in fun, creative, and healthy ways. I attract relationships with loving, good people who support me. I am comfortable with change. My physical body adapts with the changing of the seasons. I am in balance, mind, body, and soul. I feel inspired to take action. I have fun. My body is healthy and I am comfortable in my body. I am strong and my health gets better every day. I am creative. I design and create my own life with joy and happiness. My sacral chakra operates at its optimum function now. Bring your attention back to your abdomen area and pull in the orange light that is meters away from your body at present. Pull it back in towards the body and into the abdomen area. Bring your awareness back to the flow of your breathing, in and out, and feel into where you are currently sat. Begin to bring your attention to your toes and your fingers, give them a bit of a wiggle. Lift up your shoulders and release. Let yourself be aware of the room again, all of the sounds that are going on. And when you are ready to, you can open your eyes. Hello, hello, hello. Give you a moment there. Hope my daughter didn't disturb anybody. She decided to come and collect the newspaper from the letterbox. Ruining the ambience there. There we are. So how is everybody feeling?
Yeah, feeling good. Your papers were rustling.
Oh, sorry.
It's like, what's she doing?
You know, I spilt water on them before. Sorry, that's my bad. And yeah, they're a bit crinkly. You know, when you spill. Look at this. This is my. Look at it. Anyway.
Oh.
So I apologise for that.
No, it's fine. It was good. No, it was good.
Yeah, it's light. It's nice. Different.
Yes, we needed a bit of lightness after. I always do the heavy session.
I know.
But no, I met a pixie. I had a pixie that
cool.
was kind of. It was just jumping around. It was like, you need to lighten up, have some fun, dance.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
no, I've got stuff to do. And it was like, no, dance. All right.
Come on then. Get up, do your shimmy. No, it was lovely. It's a lovely when I sort of channeled in and got this, I'm like, you know what, you want us to go where? You want us to meet what? Okay. But it is nice, like the fairies and those energies are really light and bright and bubbly and childlike in a way, in the innocence and stuff. And it's not something that I typically have worked with a lot. Generally tended to channel into a lot more heavier galactic energies. So this is completely different for me. I was like, oh, I quite like it. And yeah, it was nice to see lots of things going on as well. And Bernie's energy was just glowing. I was like, oh, that's so lovely. So I have no idea where you went. So that was really lovely. And then Jess, I could see she's definitely obviously been away for the weekend. So she was like just in calm, I think, just very calm and peaceful. So that, yeah, most people had like flickering going on. So I know that, I don't know if you all connected with something, but from what I could see, looked like everybody was connecting with something. And then Mary's got no camera, but there's something going on there with the sacral chakra, but obviously I can't see. So if there is something going on, there was something around the affirmations that, I don't know, something didn't resonate there. So there was a bit of clearing going on for her. I don't know. She could confirm that with me with that one. So there we go. So what did you say? I had 4. Wow, that's nice. 4 fairies. Gosh. Share some of them out.
Having a party.
Yeah, I know. So to finish off, I'm not going to stand, but you can, so you can obviously still see me. What did Ramrus, Elfie, Pixie, get out in nature? Yeah, get out in nature more and laugh. I think that's it. We've got to lighten up, haven't we? We're dealing with like ancestral sexual trauma and then fairies. It's all about balancing our brilliance.
It is, we're balancing, so that's what we need.
Yeah, we really are, and it is. It's so lovely, and I think I'm definitely going to start working with the fairy energy a lot more, because life's hard enough, isn't it? So let's get our fairies on. Let's be fairies. So what you need to do is either stand or sitting with your feet on the floor, and they do have to really be, I mean, if you're too chilled now, you don't want to do this now, obviously it's recorded, so you don't have to do it now, you can do it at a later stage. But what you need to do is sit or stand with your feet shoulder length apart. So I'm now actually going to energize you. And this is an exercise for you to work with the energy of the 3rd point of the Hara line that Marina was talking about. So this is the Tan Tien, is that how we would say it? Tan Tien. So that energy, and that is where the physical body kind of is connected to our life force and our life spirit the most, if that makes sense. So that is where your desire and your passion and your, yes, just that get up and go drive is stored, and can become a little bit sluggish and more, as I said, we've said, more inward during the autumn season. So just take your hands like that, and then put them, I'm pretending this is my stomach, so on your stomach on either side of your belly button. So you've got your navel and your palms are like this, okay? And just take a deep breath in. So not flat on, they have to be like that. Yeah, not
like karate chop.
Yeah, like that, yeah. Great, so put them either side of the belly button and just take a deep breath in. So they're about a small ruler apart.
Yeah.
Just take another deep breath in. Okay, and release. Now I want you to visualize yourself holding like a ball of fire. So we've worked a lot with the balls today. So that concept of the container. So this is your life force, or an injection of energy into your life force. You're growing, maybe it's really bright, maybe really vibrant, but the key is that it's warm. So it's going to help you stay warm. It's going to help prevent any symptoms of feeling sad or depression associated with the darker nights and that kind of thing. Then what I want you to do is, just as you inhale, move your arms apart from each other, and then release and bring them back together, and you'll feel the energy possibly in your hands. So as you inhale, you open and then release. And again. And just keep going with this for a while at your own pace, playing with your ball. You might feel that you want to shape it a little bit, or just keep stretching it out. It might get bigger. It might still stay around that 20 centimeter mark. Do whatever feels natural for you. It's a bit like a Tai Chi thing. So just keep playing with that. And then when you're ready, you feel that it's at the right size, take it back down to your navel And I want you to slowly push it in to your sacral area, into your abdomen, into where your belly button is, and put your hands flat onto your stomach once you have pushed that ball of energy in. And then take a deep breath and release. So this exercise is what you can do if you are feeling cold, if you are feeling any sort of sadness because of the weather changing or whatever's going on energetically. Just bring the energy out and then take it back in again, because it's quite kinesthetic. So obviously by bringing it out, you can move it around, play with it, and actually feel into if it's fragmented or scatty or not bright enough, and then you can obviously bring it back into the body. And when you're ready, just open your eyes, come back to the room. This energy exercise I find is better when you stand up, because it feels more authoritative, and the nature of the chakra also is about creativity and being in your power and having strength and confidence and all those kind of things. So I personally find if I stand up, I feel more like that. Yeah. So it works better if you're stood. So, but the main thing is that you feel into it. Just make sure that you're feeling comfortable, and then bring it back into the body. And you can do that several times a day if you're having I don't know, like a bit of a day, fatigued day, shall we say.
Yeah, no, that was good. I could really feel that.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Before, so
it's kind of like similar to the one that we did. I think we did it with the Goddess group, where we did the summer solstice exercise.
Yeah, we did actually.
It's a really similar kind of thing, but I find this really.
I found it quite hard to push back in though. I had to really focus on pushing that energy back in.
Yeah, like could be because of all the work that we've done, and you're a bit, maybe you're energized enough, you just don't need it.
Yeah, perhaps.
It might not be anything, other than the fact that you've got enough. Share it out, come on, don't be selfish, give it away. Yeah, so that's so I'm just going to end before some questions and just read through the invocation. So again, this is something that you might want to do when you're feeling, listen to the words and decide what it is for you. But I've written it with the intention that it's about letting go and allowing in the new. So as we bring this class to an end, so as the leaves change colour, I allow what does not benefit me to gently fall away. It is now my true self that I will honour. There is no force or struggle to stay. The leaves will fall gently, new seeds are planted. I prepare myself mentally as my wishes are granted. I take some time to reflect on my intentions. I take time to go within. I allow the universe's interventions. As I let go, I am ready to win. With grace, ease, and flow, I move into the new season. I ignite my life force and I go deep down. I know the true reason. Change happens and I evolve. I am strong. I am in balance. I am not alone with what I must solve. I claim my power and my brilliance. It is done. So balance and brilliance didn't quite rhyme there, so I was nearly on the mark with that little one. But it needed to have balance in there. So this is something, again, like a prayer, I guess, an intention. So if you're feeling you're struggling with relationships or with your health or with anything, this is intended for that. So I hope that you find it beneficial, coupled with the screensaver artwork, which has all that we've covered today embedded in a piece of artwork that you can have to continue the healing. It's on my phone. yeah, can't see it very well, but it's there. So obviously it's got the chakra healing, and then the main thing that came through for that one was these 3 affirmations, which was I embrace my creativity and sexuality. So for me personally, I think it was about us being women who feel empowered to be able to say no, and to also to say yes, and to feel comfortable with our sexuality and exploring who we are. And then it was about I allow abundance and well-being. So being able to be creative and be paid for it, which is, new for me, for you guys to benefit from my artwork is a bit novel. So to be able to be abundant, and also about attracting relationships that make me feel good. So that affirmation is also in there. So, being in the right place at the right time, meeting the people that resonate with your energy. I'm sure many of you have gone through the process where it feels like all your friends are moving away or leaving, or just different people come, people go, and you have to trust the I don't know, the reasons, isn't it? What is it? Reason, season, lifetime. And I'm a big believer of that. So it's about attracting new people into our lives during this time that will serve our highest good and be healthy, where it's give and take and there is that flow. So I hope that artwork helps you to align with the healing, because that was quite heavy tonight, apart from the fairies. Thanks, Marina, for that one.
Well, I wasn't sure where it was going to go, but that's
well,
what I was
really
guided to do. So
no, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense, because it's about relationships, and it's about sexuality, and it's about creativity, and exploring who we are. And I might well go out dressed as a fairy tomorrow because I can and I want to. Who knows? And I invite you all to do the same. It's about fun, isn't it? Yeah, we should do it. I don't know if Asda will have one in my size, but one can hope. And yeah, I think it's about having fun. Let's see if we can get from here to 11:11 in fun, as many ways as we can. Maybe we should make a pact and keep a journal of all the fun things we've done over the next few months. I think that would be good.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
Oh, great. Bernie's off to paint fairies. Oh, wow. I'm very jealous of that. Enjoy that. Regina said, thanks, ladies. That was powerful. You're very welcome.
Very welcome. Thank you, Avril.
Thank you too for attending. Balancing our brilliance. Thank you, Claire.
So what we'll do is we'll send the replay by Wednesday evening. So that will be, and again I'll resend the artwork and the invocation, so you've got it all together as an email to do with what you want. Yeah.
Any questions before we log off? I know we're kind of on the 9 o'clock, but I don't want to not answer anything if somebody's got a question.
Or if you've got anything afterwards, you could always
absolutely
message us, which is fine.
Although I might be away with the fairies. I'll come back to you in a few days.
Okay, so I don't think there is. So what I'll do is I'll just stop the recording. So thank you everybody for attending, for signing up to enjoy this energy. Hopefully you've got much from it. And as I say, just be mindful of the healing that'll come afterwards.
Yeah.
And if there's any feedback that you have for us, we would love to get that feedback, so that obviously we can hopefully use it for future marketing. But if there's any questions that you have as well, just message either Rebecca or myself. And hopefully we'll see you very soon. So I'll just stop recording there.